So our first enshrinement of the evening honors a man who played the game of football at the highest level. And he went on to coach the game with tremendous success in high school and college. Dean Renn grew up in West Frankfort, Illinois, and was a four-sport athlete in high school there before accepting a football scholarship at the University of Illinois, where in 1954, he was second in receiving in the Big Ten Conference. Randy will tell you how many passes he caught that year when he does the interview here in a minute. After his college career, his career as a coach, Coach Renn got started at several Southern Illinois schools, then came to Belleville Township in 1961. When the district split into two high schools in '67, Coach Renn was named the first football coach at then Belleville East High School. It wasn't long before he coached the Lancers to an undefeated season in '69, and the team was ranked second in the state of Illinois. During Coach Renn's 16-year tenure as head coach at East, the team never experienced a losing season. Also a successful golf coach for the Lancers, he went on to coach running backs for the football program at McKendree University. Please read Coach Renn's complete bio in tonight's program. Already enshrined in the Illinois Football Coaches Hall of Fame and the St. Louis Metro Football Coaches Hall of Fame, we are pleased tonight to welcome Coach Dean Renn into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Please welcome him with your applause. Randy Carricker, who we just announced is going to go into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame later this year, is here to conduct the interview. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Tom. All right, let's start with this because this is important. Who's here with you tonight, Coach? Who's here at the Hall of Fame?
I have a large contingent, several relatives, and a lot of ex-football players, and some ex-golfers.
That's great. How much does that mean to you, by the way, to have your former players that you obviously had an impact on, have them here tonight?
Someone told me around 35.
That's great. And that's what coaching is all about. Okay, you played receiver at Illinois. Tom said that I would announce the number. Do you remember how many catches you had when you were second in the Big Ten in receiving?
How many catches?
How many catches did you have?
I don't have a clue.
17. 17 catches. The
Yeah.
game has changed a little bit, hasn't it? But that was, despite some of the records that the Illini had, you played with J.C. Caroline, who played 10 years in the NFL as a cornerback, and Abe Woodson, who played 9 years. That was a team that had some talent at Illinois, wasn't it?
There was a couple others. If you remember Bobby Mitchell, he was a running back at Illinois, and he became a wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. He drove me crazy when he was a freshman because he was a couple years behind me, and the freshmen would come over and entertain the varsity. And I had to contain him, and it was a problem, big problem. So probably one of the better known players that I played with was a high school All-American quarterback. He came to Illinois and converted, well, before that, my freshman year, the NCAA was talking about football being the tail that wags the dog, so they limited substitution in D1. And you could only go in one time each quarter. So anyway, the player I'm talking about, he had a little problem remembering the audibles, so they converted him to fullback and linebacker. And he later played for the Green Bay Packers by the name of Ray Nitschke.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. When did you decide, Coach, that you wanted to coach?
Oh, I grew up as a farm boy. I was a all-state FFA farmer, and I was president of the FFA my senior year in high school. But my dad was a coal miner, and I didn't want to be a coal miner, so I was going to be a farmer. And I love sports. People used to ask me, what's your favorite sport? And I would say, whichever one is in season. But anyway, I had several scholarship offers in football and one in basketball. But I felt football was my strong suit. So when I got the scholarship to Illinois, I thought, hey, I'll be a veterinarian, because I loved horses primarily, but animals. And being naive as I was, I found out that veterinary medicine was a 5-year program, and I only had a 4-year scholarship. So I didn't know how I could make it that 5th year. So I picked my second love, which was sports.
And became a coach, went to Belleville Township. Ultimately, the two separated, and you were at Belleville East 16 years without a losing record. How did you do that with a brand new school to get things started?
I didn't do it. I had a bunch of kids that wanted to, and they were good, and they worked hard, and I was just one of the cogs.
That being said, and you have a staff, and like you said, you do have players, what are you most proud of in your coaching career?
What am I most proud of? Oh my gosh. There's so many I can't count. I have seen kids that I coach become men, and some of them great men. But I think that's my proudest achievement, is watching teenagers grow up and become citizens.
And from that perspective, as citizens, how much did kids change from the time you started coaching them to the time you finished coaching in high school?
I don't think they changed a lot. I really don't. I think good kids don't mind being disciplined, and they learn discipline, and they become disciplined, and they become men and successful at whatever endeavors they start. So, as I said, I was just one of the cogs.
You were also the golf coach. You must have been a really good golfer to teach all those kids how to play golf.
My first job, I went back home to my hometown, West Springfield, Illinois, deep south coal mine, and they had a golf job open, and so it paid $200. So they told me I could have the golf job. So the first thing I did was buy a set of clubs. Never had a golf club in my hand. Fortunately, I had a player that was runner-up in the state the previous year, and the kid that beat him in the country club championship. So I hooked up with those two, and they taught me the game. And that's how I started playing golf.
That's great. And Coach is living in Indianapolis right now. You have a couple of daughters, right? One still in the area and then one in Indy. Is that correct? Your family, your daughters?
I have 2 boys and 2 girls. One daughter is in Indianapolis, where I live now. I'm in an assisted living center over there. And the other daughter lives in Bloomington, Illinois. Her husband is State Farm. I don't know how high he is, but
In Bloomington, pretty high.
he doesn't tell me. But my two sons, my older one, Ted, lives alone in West Frankfort. He has never been married, always lived alone. And the baby boy, he's in prison. Well, he's been teaching GED classes at Perryville prison.
There you go. Getting the GED classes. And let's just so you mentioned Ted. What are the names of your other three children? The other three children's names. You had Ted. You mentioned your two daughters' name and your other son's name.
Ted and Bob, and Jennifer and Stephanie.
All right.
And son-in-law Michael Skolsky and Frank Iskra. And that's it.
Good. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to induct Dean Renn into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.
That I didn't like.
Thank you. Thank you.